Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the third part of building a React portfolio. So in the last video, let me just show in here what we were doing. We just finished building our navigation bar. So now in the beginning of this video, I'm just going to cover how we can actually use these values in here like React project and our navigation links in a bit more elegant way. Okay, so if I'm going in here to my code, I'm going to show you now how you can actually put this value in a different way, passing something called props of each component. Okay, so when we create a component just like this one, navigation, okay, I'm just going to remind you of the flow of how this works. So we created this file, navigation.js. We started with this import React and component so we can generate this component class, okay, everything that we have in here. When we create a class, a component, we need to have a render function and a return as well. So this is what is going to return. And we put in here import navigation.css. So this is going to be a file directly attached only to this part of our code. Okay, so this style in here is only going to affect this. So this is great, keeping things modular. So this is our navigation.css with all our CSS that we need for there. And now I actually, where we have this part in here that it says React project, I actually want to make this a little bit more dynamic, okay? Because when we create this file, we put this little bit of code in here on the bottom that says export default navigation, which we will pass into our index.js, okay? So this file in here, index.js, in here, if you see where it is, import navigation, the name of our component class that we created, from .navigation. This is where the file is sitting because this is our index.js and this is our navigation.js, okay? So it's /navigation because it's on the same path, okay, in the same folder. This register service worker, you guys don't have to worry about this. This is just like when we are working offline. And then in here, actually, where we are using this React DOM.render, here is where we are passing our navigation component that we created in here to be rendered on the document.getElementById root. This is where this is going to be placed on our index.html. As you can see, this is our index.html, completely empty, but there is a div with the ID of root. So this, we are going to put everything inside here, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to actually pass a property inside of our navigation component in here, and I'm going to show you. So you can give it whatever name you want. So I'm going to give it, for example, logo title, and I'm going to put equals to, and I'm going to put, for example, let's say React portfolio, something like this, okay? Let me go in here. In here it's still React project, okay? But now, so this is like called props. You are passing like a prop. I'm not sure why they call it the props, but it's like this. So we are calling it the props, and you can put it as many as you want. For example, after, if you want to put something else, you could put, for example, let's say color equals to blue, and then you could put for something else. You know, you can pass it as many as you want. Okay, let me just delete this. So I have in here logo title, and I'm going to put equals to React portfolio. Let me save this. And now in here in my navigation.js, I can actually go in here and delete this React project and put between these curly braces, I'm going to put something like this. This dot props dot the name that we just put in here, logo title, okay? So logo, capital T, title. This is just like a standard way of putting the camel casing names, okay? So if I save this and I go in here, React project, so this.props.logo title, where is it? Logo title, okay. Let me see, maybe it could be because let me put again, just start this, okay? npm start, and let me start this. React portfolio. It's still giving me some errors because in here, in my navigation.js, we are having just these hashtags. So I'm going to build this in a more elegant way in a second, but for now, I'm just going to put something like this. Services, and in here I'm going to put portfolio, and in here I'm going to put contact, and I'm going to save. Let's see how it is. Now it's working fine. Look, React portfolio. Okay, so this is what we passed in here. Now I'm going to put, for example, my name. Okay, telmoasampaio, and there it is, telmoasampaio. So this is how you can actually pass some props to your component that you just created, so you can have dynamic values in here. So as you can see, my h2 with a class of name logo is passing these properties that we put in here. Okay, so this is a way. Right, now I also want to generate this in here in a more elegant way and more dynamic. Okay, so for that, I'm going to create first of all like a constant where I'm going to put all these values that I want. Okay, so I'm going to put in here const, because this is going to be a constant because these values are going to be the same all the time. So I'm going to call it, for example, const sections, okay? And this is going to be equal to an array, and in here I'm going to put for the first home, and then the second I'm going to put about, and services, and portfolio. Let me just put this between quotes because this is a string, and contact, okay, something like this. And I'm gonna stop this. Now I'm gonna use a method from JavaScript itself that you can use for like looping through arrays. It's the dot map, okay? So now I can actually call it, let's call it nav links, okay? So if I put in here, for example, const nav links is going to be equals to my sections dot map. So this is like a method from JavaScript itself, okay? And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in here my section, and basically I'm going to use like the new notation for the arrow function, okay? You know, before when we were creating, I'm just going to put down here, you were creating a function something like this, function blah blah whatever, and you are putting this, and then you are doing something like this, and then you're putting an argument, so arg1, arg2, okay, arg2 blah blah, and you're putting, yeah. So basically this is how you were doing functions before. Now with the new ES6 syntax, okay, let me just get rid of this. You can just put something like this. You can put a section, and then you put the arrow function, the arrow, and then you can actually do something like this, okay? So let me just close this now with this one, and now I can put this, all right? But this one, since it has only one argument, I can actually remove the parentheses. But this is if it's only one argument, okay? So what this .map method from JavaScript does is looping through all of these items of this array, okay, all these indexes of the array, and then it's going to return something that you want, okay? And what I want it to return is, okay, let me put in here return, like this. I actually don't even need this. But in here, I want to return exactly the same thing as we have in here, okay? So something like this. I want to return for each one of these names, I want to return a li, href, and now in here, I actually want to do something like this. I'm gonna put in here these curly braces. So basically these curly braces, let me just put like this. Let's put these curly braces, and I'm gonna put my hashtag, because this is going to be like a string, and plus my section I'm going to put in here, and when it says home I'm going to do the same, section, okay? And let me just like go through this again. So I created this array in here, const sections. You can give it whatever name you want, okay? Where I'm going to have my home, my about, my services, portfolio, and contact. Exactly what we have in here, okay? And then I'm going to create another constant called nav links, where I'm going to go through this array that I create sections, and I'm going to use this method from JavaScript called .map, which will loop through each individual index of this array, okay? And then it will return something for us. And I'm going to do in here sections.map, and then I'm going to give the name that I want to get the value that is in here. And I put in here usually section. So in here I give it usually like a name in plural, and then I give it a name in here in singular, so it's like easy for me to understand. So I know, for example, in the first time that this is going to loop, it's going to go through this one, and I'm going to put in here section, for example. So it's going to return a li with a href, and then we need to put these curly braces to our JavaScript to work in here. So it's going to be a hashtag, and instead of section in here, it's going to replace with home. And instead of this section in here, because it's between these curly braces as well, it's going to put home. And basically it's going to do the same after for the about, and the next one after for the services, the same for portfolio, contact, and that's it. So now I can obviously just go in here and delete this, okay? So I can basically now go in here with these navigation links that we created and just go in here and put like this, nav links, okay? If I go in here and I refresh the page, look, it's still the same. Let's say that I just change this contact to footer. Oops, footer, something like this. If I go in here, look, now it's footer. In here, if I put instead of home, I put home page. Okay? I go in here, look, home page. You see how we put this now using JavaScript, the latest syntax, and in a much more elegant way. All right. All right. Hopefully this was not like too much complicated. But if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below. And that's it. So okay, I covered this part. Now we can actually go to this part in here, to the hero section. All right, so let me actually create in here, I'm gonna save this as, so I'm gonna call it header.js, okay? And in here in my header.js, I'm gonna first of all use this, okay? So where is it, my header.js? I'm going to import React, And I'm going to take this off so you guys can understand a little bit better. So I'm importing React from React. First of all, like I said, so we can use this part in here. So I'm going to create a class of header, which extends React.component. And if you guys don't want to write this React.component all the time, you can just do a comma in here and put something like this, component, okay? And if you put this in here, you don't have to write down this React.component, okay? Let me see, so this is fine. And finally, I can put export default header, and I think that's it. Let me just have a look in here. Yeah. So we created now our header. There is still nothing in here. Inside, we always have to put our render function first of all. So render, and let me see if it's fine. So we got our render. Let me put, so render, and then I put these curly braces. Sometimes I forget this. It's completely fine if sometimes you forget things like this, like me, for example. If you don't do this like every day, you will forget, okay? It's always good to go and refresh to another examples that you did already. And now I also need my return, okay? So inside of my render, I need my return, okay? And usually if you put just something like this, you don't need to put any parentheses like I mentioned before, but if you're going to use like multiple lines, you need this, okay? I think I need this, yeah, I need this one in here, this comma. Okay, so we created this, and I actually want now, let's see, I actually want to create a constant just to hold the values for my background image that I'm going to put in this hero section. All right, so now I'm going to create in here a const, and I'm going to call it hero background. Yeah, hero, I'm just going to put hero image, maybe something like this, okay? And this is going to be equals to, before I start this one, I actually need to first copy this image that we have in here. I think it's this one, okay? I'm going to copy this image and I'm going to put it in here inside of the src, and I'm going to put it in here, for example, a folder called img, okay? And inside I'm going to put this one, and this is the name bg masthead, and this is a JPEG file, okay? So I'm going to put in here something like this. This is the name .jpeg, and I'm going to put ./img. So this is going to be where the image is going to be exactly, okay? Okay, so I'm going to return what I'm going to put in here now. I want to put a header, okay? I'm going to return this one, header. And inside of this header, I want to put it a style. And inside of this style, I'm going to put like this, style equals I actually could do something a bit different, okay? Maybe I could call this like my styles. So I could call it like this, const my styles, and I could put this equals to an object, and I'm going to put in here, for example, background image, and I could put this one in here, then I put a comma, and I put, for example, a height of 300 pixels, so we need to force this one up. And I could pass this one in here. Oops, let me just copy this and just put this one inside here. Okay, let's see if something is happening in here. Not yet. We have a couple of errors in here. Okay, let me just get rid of these. Okay, so we got this one, this one needs to be closed as well. Now this one should look better. Let me just see what we have in here. So we got our head, our body. Inside of our root we have our nav, but we still, okay, we also still don't import inside of our index.js. Okay, so we need to import our header. Okay, so import header from header. We don't need to put the .js like I mentioned before. Okay, so in here now we have some errors in here. In the my style unexpected token. Okay, on 5 const my styles. Let's save, let's copy this, let's put this in here. I think it's not this one. Right, maybe I have to put this is outside of the class. Okay, I'm gonna put this one in here. So we got our class component in here. Let me just get rid of this, put this code a little bit more organized so we can see everything. So we got and we got this. I don't think this is the one. I think we need to write down background image in a different way for React. Background image React. There you go. You need to write down like this. You see, you don't have to know. So in React, you actually write this one like this, and so this one should be fine now. Background image, you write like this because it's in React, and then the height. Let me see. Height in CSS React. Okay, so the height I completely forgot, because every time that create something like this we need to put these double quotes around things when we are writing down these values inside of React straight away. Okay, so if I do this 300 pixels, I think that should be it. I think that should be it. So we created this in here, this constant with the background image and this one. Okay, we have our height, so our div, this div that we created in here, a header, will apply these styles that we put in here, and we need to import it in here in our index.js. Okay, import header from header in here. These are on the same folder like I showed you before. Where was it? Here they are. And actually now we need to render it on the page as well. Okay, so because now we have one component in here from before and we have another one header, is better to just create a new class component. So I'm going to create a class component called app. So class app extends component, okay, and I didn't put this React.component, so I need to go in here and put like this. So component, and I can get rid of this one now. I'm going to put my render function. Okay. And I'm going to return. Okay. Let me see. I never remember if I have to put, yeah, after this one I need to put this. So in here, what we are going to return? I'm going to return this one, my navigation bar. I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to put in here now my header component that I just created. So basically, look at this. This new class, this new component that I created, app, is going to hold all the other components that we are going to create, and we're going to put them all in here. And now I just have to put this one in here, app, in here. Okay, so app, I'm going to close it, and let's see what we have in here. Okay, so we have, where is it? An error, return. There's adjacent elements must be wrapped in an enclosed tag. Ah, okay. So basically, like I said, all of these things in here, they have to be wrapped in an actual component. Okay, that's why they are not displaying anything. Let's just put these on a div. Okay, div, and let's just put this on another div. Okay, and we can actually just put these like this, because they have to be wrapped down in an outer element, like I mentioned in previous videos. So this is fine. And now an expected token in here. So maybe, yeah, I'm missing this one now. Okay, and now here it is. Okay, so we got something in here, our div. I got these two divs. I got my nav and my header. But the height is set up, height, but the background image is not in here yet. So let's see, img, let's see what we have in here. So img.jpg, let's just see if this is gonna work. So this is still not working. Okay, so let's try something different in here. Let's import this image first of all as background, okay? And in here I'm going to pass it as a backticks. You know, these backticks that we're going to treat everything as a string. Right, so I'm going to put this one in here. I'm going to remove all of these things inside. And now I'm just going to put a $sign. So basically I'm treating everything in here as a string, and then I'm just going to grab this background that I have in here. Okay, so this should work now. And there it is. Okay, so finally it's working. We've got our background image, our URL inside, and I actually want to make this a little bit longer. So I want to make this, for example, 80% of the viewport of your screen. Okay, so I'm going to put 80 VH in here. And yeah, it looks much better now. Let me just put in here in our index.js, instead of the name telmoasampaio, I'm going to put React project, for example. So React project, and here it is. So what else was missing in here? Okay, let's put this one in here now. Stylish portfolio. So I'm just going to create in here in my header.js. let's put in here, for example, this is going to be a h1, and let's put in here again h1, and I'm going to call it stylish. No, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. In here in my index.js, where I'm passing my header, I'm going to put it in here title, and it's going to be equal to a string, and this title is going to be stylish portfolio. Okay, and now I have this one in here. I can go to my header.js and just put in here between curly braces, and I'm going to put this dot props dot title. Okay, let me refresh. Where is it? We got under the header, we got a problem. This is not closed. Okay, and style portfolio. Right, I want to push this now in here into the middle, so we are starting to get a little bit more CSS values in here. So I'm going to create my own CSS file for this, and I'm going to put in here new. I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to call it header.css. So in here, I'm going to put inside of my header h1. I want to put margin 0 everywhere. Okay, let's see what's this. So we got this. I still need to import it in here. So I'm going to import. How did I do this? Okay. So I'm going to put this import, and I'm going to put in here my header.css. And now I should be able to use my CSS file in here. And there it is. I want to center this on the page now, so I'm going to put it, for example, in my header. I want everything to be margin 0 auto. And I want the text align to be center. Let's refresh. Here it is. And I want to push it down in here in the middle. So I'm going to put the padding on the top to be, for example, 500 pixels, something like this. It's a little bit too much, so maybe I'm going to put 300. Yeah, in here is fine. I'm not going to put this exactly the same, but yeah, so you guys can have some idea. Font size for REM. So I'm going to put this one the same in here. Let's see, this is the same. And the color, where is the color of this now? So if I go in here and I'm going to put the color, this is going to be the color. Okay, color is going to be this one. Let me see, here it is. Okay, so now what I miss, I need this one in here. This one in here is going to be, I'm going to put it just as a paragraph. Okay, so going back, let me just get rid of this. Going back to my header.js, I'm going to put in here a paragraph. Let me close this. And what's going to be the text? The text is going to be this one. Okay. Let me go in here. Now I just need to put the same styling as this one. Let's see what's the style in this one. We got the font size, font weight. Okay, so in my header.css, I'm going to put my header paragraph. I'm going to put this one, my font weight, and my font size. This is done. Let me go in here. It looks better. The color is the same in here, so I'm just going to put the color the same. And there it is. So finally, I just miss now to put the button, okay? So this button is going to be an A, okay? Let's create this button in here, ahref. I'm going to put button, anything that you want. I need to close the A. What I'm going to put, find out more. I actually going to put this one as well inside of some props. So I'm going here into my index, into my header, and I'm going to put another prop called button. And the button, what does it say in here? Find out more. So I'm going to put find out more. Okay, find out more. I think this is lowercase. No, it's the same, like this. If I go to my header.js, I'm going to put in here this.props.button. Okay, let's go in here and find out more. Great. Now I just need to basically copy this style that we have in here. So this style, we got this one, box shadow, header.css, I'm gonna put this one, we got this box shadow. Don't worry, I'm gonna actually update these values to the GitHub. I'm gonna put everything on the GitHub if you want to go and check this out. It's gonna be easy for you. Okay, so I'm going in here now. What else? I'm going to copy all of these things in here. Okay, I don't need this important stuff. I don't need this one as well. I just need to close. Let's see how it is at the moment. Okay, now I also need the padding. I need the padding in here. Let me put the padding. I need the text decoration none. I don't want nothing in here. Let me see. Yeah. Now it's just missing basically these. Where is it? So border, it should be somewhere around here. Border radius. Okay, I got this border radius that I'm gonna put in here. We got the same, and I just want some space in here from this one. I think it's a little bit too big actually. So I don't want 80 VH, but maybe I want like 60. 60 is also still too big, so I'm going to put 50. Let's see. Yeah, now it's better. And now I just want a little bit of space from this paragraph. Okay, so from this paragraph, now I'm going to put it a margin bottom of 30 pixels. And this one, I'm not sure if this is what kind of display. I need to put this one, my anchor, as a display inline block. Okay, I'm just putting here inline block. So now is looking better. Okay, so I guess that's it for this video, guys. It's already a bit too long, but as you can see, we cover some things in here. I'm just going to show you quickly what we did. In our navigation bar in the beginning, we just added these props that we put in here. And we did the same for our header. We passed some values through props. In our navigation, I created these constant sections that we are looping everything through this .map function. in JavaScript. We put these styles in here in our header.js, and I think we covered a little bit about what you can do in here with React. I hope it was not too complicated. I think this video was a little bit too long, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because you guys are still learning something. And in the next video, I actually want to do this section. I don't think this section in here is too important, but I'm gonna create now in the next video this section in here, and I hope you guys will enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel if you are watching me for the first time. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video.